everybody to OP Digital Blueprint. Our guests today, Red Redfern, everybody knows, but our very special guest here today is Levi Martin from South Africa. So, Levi, what I want you to do is to give us a rundown. Tell us a little bit more about you, where you are, what you're doing, what you've been doing, and who you've been doing it with regarding ONPASSIVE.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to say I'm humbled and very privileged to be your guest. In my turn, in South Africa, Solomon and Catherine Mamabolo. Are you with me? Hear me?
We are. You go in and out a little bit. Perhaps if you turn your camera off for a minute while you're talking, we might be able to get clarity, because I think it might be using too much on the bandwidth. Try that, Levi.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Far away. Sorry. Go on.
Can you hear me? I said, my name is Levi, as you have already mentioned, and then I'm very humbled and privileged to be your guest. I joined ONPASSIVE in January 2021 on the 20th by the lady called Joyce.
We keep losing you, Levi. I'm sorry.
Comfort.
If you turn your camera off, we'll be able to hear your voice. Turn your camera off while you're talking, and that might help. You keep going in and out. Turn your camera off. That's it. Okay.
Is it fine now?
Away, Levi. That's better. That's better. We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I joined in 2021, introduced by the lady called Joyce Oliphant. And by then, I didn't have any clue what is happening with ONPASSIVE. And then there's a lady by the name of Rose Mutlabi. We always have meetings, hold our own webinars, just to teach other farmers what is all about this business. And at the moment, what is so anxious, they don't know what is happening. But now, as we listen to our brother Red, Marty, and Captain Chris, then we can see, we can hear and follow what is really happening. And then I would like to thank also Brother Collins, always encouraging us, telling us what we must do. We must always engage, attend the webinars, so that we must know this, our company. And really, that is brilliant. Sometimes I attend to Sister Gladys Nyamboro, Sister Comfort, Julie, I can mention them, all of them. They are really encouraging. So that's why I say I'm very privileged and very grateful to Ash Mufara. As a humanitarian, he showed the love which is so immense to the world. He unified the universe. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Levi. That's brilliant. Bring yourself back on camera, and while we bring on our esteemed colleague Red, and he will probably give us some more updates, I'm sure. So
wow, thank you very much, Levi. Great to hear your story. Everybody's got an ONPASSIVE story, haven't they? It doesn't matter who you are. Absolutely everybody has one. And this is why I keep on harping on about the ONPASSIVE journey to so many people, because it is important that you understand that nobody who is here in ONPASSIVE is here by accident. We are all meant to be in ONPASSIVE for one reason or another. Some have come in here because they caught the inspiration from our CEO Ash Mufara from the humanitarian point of view. Some of us, like myself in those early days, came in because of the business idea and the monetary value that we saw within what he was trying to do, and everybody else in between. But it is interesting to listen to everyone's journey. It's what makes us ONPASSIVians at the end of the day. It's what molds us into wanting to be part of the ONPASSIVE family. Now, that is probably one of the most key elements that separates this company from any other company. I have never come across a company online or even offline that has this type of membership family that we see within ONPASSIVE. There just isn't one. It doesn't matter what company you think of. I've never come across the bonding that occurs within this business. The people we know very well now because of the time we have been together, and it's very special, isn't it? We are all here for our own reasons, but as a collective, which is what we are, I mean, some people call us a cult. I don't know why they do. Maybe it's because we are very passionate about what we believe in. Now, is that a bad thing? I personally don't think it is a bad thing. Why is it bad that we believe in what our CEO is trying to achieve, what the company is trying to achieve? You know, they really are rubbing completely against the grain of normality as far as online business is concerned. And I was saying on my live today that part of why I'm convinced and determined to see this through to the end is because I caught the dream of ONPASSIVE a very, very long time ago, 6 years in September, in fact. And to be able to be the correction to the corruption and to go against the grain of the norm, to put people before profit, is a very hard task to do. Why? Quite simply, people love their gravy trains. They love the way they make money at the moment. It's easy peasy, isn't it? You know what I mean? The amount of scams that are out there, the amount of people that give money over freely, all of these sort of things, easy money, the internet. So why would they want their gravy train to stop? Along comes our CEO, Ash Mufara, with a fantastic vision of how to be able to give every single normal person, regardless of qualifications, regardless of skin color, regardless of region, regardless of religion, a fair crack of the whip to be able to do something online for the good and benefit of themselves, their family, and people around them. It's going to get a lot of interested people who don't want to change, don't want that change. Why? They're earning way too much money to want to change for the better. when you have a company and a person who puts people before profit, then you know you're in the right place. He wants us. That's everyone who's watching this, every person who's got a position in ONPASSIVE, to be the ones that are going to benefit the most from this business, not the company. Is the company going to do well? Yes, let's hold our hands up. Of course they're going to do well, but they're not going to take the lion's share. They're going to take the share they need to survive, the share that they need to be able to grow as a business, but not that profit that so many of the big companies that we see right now that are about making, in essence, extremely ridiculous amounts of money. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that it's obscene. Not one people or one person does not need that amount of money. If you're a billionaire, isn't that enough? Why do you need to be 100 billion billionaire or 2 billionaire? You know, if you're a billionaire, you're going to have more money than you're ever going to need in your life. But that greed of power and money is there, and that's what drives these people forward, not the desire to want to change. There's a good old saying, isn't there? Nobody remembers the richest man in a graveyard. Why? Because they've done nothing. All they've done is be a rich man in the graveyard. But how many poor people or people who have gone above and beyond have been remembered for what they have done for humanity? We can name an awful lot of people. That's what our CEO's drive is. He wants to be remembered for what he has done for humanity and the average person. And that is a fantastic accolade to have, isn't it? If that is your driving force of why you get up in the morning and literally take the flack and hassle that you must have on a daily basis, you have to be a special person to be able to withstand it on a regular basis. I'm sure many of us here, not just on the panel, but also in the chat, have many people coming to us and really not being very nice, whether it's on purpose or whether it is snidey remarks. We get it. You have to almost grow a thicker skin to be able to deal with it. But I think if you have the belief and conviction of what is trying to happen here, then you brush them off. You keep on going. Why? Because we can see what other people can't see. As our COO Mohammed Kamal said a couple of weeks ago, ONPASSIVE is for everybody, but not everybody is for ONPASSIVE. There's a big difference there. What does that mean? What does it mean in reality? It means that, yes, anybody can come into ONPASSIVE, but if you are a true believer in ONPASSIVE, then you will understand exactly what is trying to be done here. And that makes the difference. This is why we are all still here. This is why we are going and sticking behind our CEO at the moment through this, let's face it, awkward time at the moment. But we are behind him because we want this company to succeed. We want him to succeed in his vision. Why? Because we know it's going to benefit not only us, the people around us, but more importantly, the wider community. There is no other business that is trying to do what he is doing. So we should back him. We should give him the support he needs, because this is the only company that is going to get anywhere close to sorting out many of the problems around the globe. That's it for me now. Andy, come back to me in a bit more. Back to you.
Thanks, Red. I agree 100%. I think that the interesting thing is that the entire system has been designed over hundreds of years to encourage just individuals to make the money or to hoard the money, create monopolies, to create these huge corporations. Most of, or many of them, have no interest in the people that work in those companies, or even what they do outside. it's all about this, and this is one of the things, like you, that excites me more than anything else. Our CEO changing that, wanting to change that system. Do you know, I mentioned about being hacked. My Facebook account's been hacked, and I can't for the life of me get hold of anybody at Facebook. You cannot contact anybody to explain, to tell them. So how do I get my account back? Well, you can't. You've lost it. And to get all of these companies saying, well, by the way, I if you pay me this, I'll get it back. Yeah. Pay no attention to any of those either. But the beauty of it is that we have a system, and our CEO is creating a system that is a correction to the corruption, and it will blow a lot of these monopolies simply out of the water. Collins, what would you like to add to our conversation?
Andy, yes, I just want to thank Lois for joining us. That is a privilege again and a joy to listen to someone you've never. This is the first time for me to see you, and it's great. You know, today I watched Red live, and there was a lot of takes, you know, around it. It was really good. I told Red it's really good, and Red even mentioned some of the stuff he said. He said on his live. You know, it's about sticking with ONPASSIVE. He said this is the only thing. You know, we want to see this through to the end. And Red is one of the first people. Red is one of the first to join ONPASSIVE. They were among the first people to join ONPASSIVE. 2018. It means they saw nothing. And sometimes when you ask Red, why are you still here? It's because of the belief. He saw nothing, and he saw the company growing from strength to strength. It's because of his belief. Because I cannot say Red is stupid. He's a grown-up man, very wise guy. And he knows what is good and what is bad. If you ask him, why are you still sticking on ONPASSIVE for 6 years? He will tell you, no, you'll be silly to live ONPASSIVE. You know, that's really stupid, because every time when you watch Red, you know that, you know, there must be something in this. If Red is still here, then there is something in it. Because you can't just come in, you listen to a recorder of someone telling you, join me and I will take you to the top. And you say, wow, you listen to what he said, this is a great vision. And you start to follow that journey up till now. And Red have not wavered to say, you know what? Oh, you know what? It's too much. Red is still the same Red. So there must be something in it. And that is the belief. So when you look at things, and sometimes there are people who questions, you read at some of the chart, when, you know, they will praise Mr. Ash Mofara. And when the system goes down, oh, what's Ash doing? What's Ash doing? You know, the complaint start to come. That is the part, you know, you look at it and say, wow, what is really happening? What is really happening? But you don't doubt someone with vision, because things like this takes a lot of time and effort. You know, belief and trust in someone's vision is the key. Do we really trust Mr. Ash? Do you trust him that he can take you? Do you trust in his vision, that his vision is not only for us, the affiliate and the founding member? It's about changing humanity if you want to be part of it, because they cannot change you if you are out of it. Change can only come if you are in it, because if you come in, you will win. It's about humanity, but you must take that step. Red always said a lot of times. But now we need to trust, and we just have to believe. And when we believe, what do we exercise? It's patience, because patience is the key. If we are not patient, you lose patience. It means you will never ever want to join any webinar. Like I said, try to be informed, know where the business is going. Those who complain, they are not in it. Those who say anything out of it, it means they have not been paying attention to Mr. Ash Mofara, or listening to Red, Madi Digamo, Chris, and all of those who do live. Sometimes Red will come and break it down for others to understand. But if you are not patient, and those who really sit back, look at the chart. When someone writes something, I know that person is not part of ONPASSIVE. I can just tell straight that you are either in ONPASSIVE, but you are just that founder who is not passionate of what you want to see. You just want to get only what you want, because you've already placed yours in your head. And if it's not coming on your own term, then it's not ONPASSIVE. But we are saying here, the truth is, Patience is the key. We cannot force the system to do what it's not designed to do. The system will only do it based on the ideas of Mr. Ash Mufara. And we believe that they are working so hard to bring everything back. Like Red said, some people will cry, some people will shed tears in their house, because especially those who will shed tears, I would say 100% are those who follow this vision, this journey of ONPASSIVE. You know, there are people who will not even care. Yes, they'll see apples, they will not even care because that's what they came for. Fair enough. But those who will be celebrating, they'll be celebrating their time and their journey. Like as Red talk about the Jews. Was it worth squeezing? That is something. You start to look at the time you spend in ONPASSIVE, the ups and the downs, the time when the side was down, the time when the side was up, the times where you're in webinar. You know, we think about the COVID time where ONPASSIVE was the only place where people can sit and have that commune, the family that and the bond that you build around ONPASSIVE. That is the thing that we will take with us. You know, I like the phrase when Red said, rich people, you know, are what I think sometimes you say, you talk about the grave, that you cannot even be remembered even in your grave, because nobody will remember you if you are rich. People knows you for what you've given, it's not from what you own. You know, Mr. Ash Mufara want to give something. He is not here to enrich himself. He is here to share, to make sure he leaves footprint. There was time Red put something about a tortoise. You know, the tortoise was crawling around the beach shore. You know, slowly, he said, you talk about Mark. I read it and I took it. I said, this is true. You know, it is about your footprint. Doesn't matter how long it takes, but are we going to leave footprint? You know, at the end of the day, there's a webinar I said, whether we like it or not, we'll leave footprint on this planet Earth. But what type of footprint do you want to leave? It's just up to you. You can leave a bad footprint. You can leave a good footprint. People will remember you for what you give, not for what you own. You know, and always said the richest place on this planet Earth is in the grave. How many of us use our brain to impact people's life? This is what Mr. Ash Mufara is trying to do. Do you take the brain and die with it, or do you take it to impact people's life? That's it. So I will leave it there for now.
Thanks, Collins. It is interesting, you know.
Red want to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Andy, ask me why I'm still here in ONPASSIVE.
Go on, Red. Why are you still here in ONPASSIVE?
Because as long as ONPASSIVE is here, my dream is still alive. And that really is the bottom line for myself and many, many people. I know as long as ONPASSIVE is still here, my dream of what I've got for myself and my family and other people is still alive. How many times and how many different other businesses, opportunities, all the rest of it that you join, you get very excited, you have big dreams, only for them all to fade away. 6 years on nearly, I've still got my dream. Why? ONPASSIVE is still here, hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, we might be going through a bit of a down time at the moment, but we're still here. And that is why I am still here, because my dream is still alive. Back to you. And I might not be stupid either.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take your word for that one, Red. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I think the key to a lot of certainly some of the people I know is they are now starting to ask, what are you seeing that we're not seeing? Because they've given us this story. Oh yeah, we've seen all the negative. We've seen all the negative. Why are you in it? So look, my choice. I've seen something you haven't seen, and now all this time has gone on, and they're starting to ask, you're still there. What are you doing? Why are you still there? I said, nothing has changed. My vision has got bigger. My dream has become bigger, and I'm still part of something that's very, very special. So I'm not leaving it. You just can't see it yet. But don't worry, your time will come. Levi, I'm sure you've got something else that you'd like to add as well. So please come and say some more. Fire away, Levi.
Okay. Okay. What I've seen in ONPASSIVE, I mean, Mufara has instilled love in me. At the moment, it's not about money. It's about caring for others. We do have brothers and sisters who are suffering. Not to say maybe I'm not suffering, but there are people who are still suffering outside, whom I think they need help. And with ONPASSIVE, everything is going to be fine. Like Vincent Ete is always saying, it is fine. And everything with ONPASSIVE is going to be fine. The vision of Mr. Mufara is very great. As I've said, at the moment, he has unified the universe. I'm very grateful to Mufara and all the leaders, even the tech pros. Whenever you are attending the webinar, you'll understand that this is the real company with real solutions to help the communities around the world.
Thank you, Levi. I agree. I mean, we know that there are near on 6,000 patents of technology that have been suppressed, and one of the things that excites me about ONPASSIVE is the fact that we're going to have this huge organization behind us in order to help or bring forward a lot of these inventors that may have been frightened off or scared off in the past by big organizations that want to simply, you know, buy them out or get rid of these people altogether, take their technology and you know, shovel it away somewhere instead of actually benefiting humanity. And I was listening to a very interesting webinar the other day from a group called the Creative Society, and they've been talking about these machines that I know Chris, Captain Chris, sorry, was discussing on one of his Oh Bless webinars several years ago now, where a company have organized or created these machines that take water out of the air. And also create electricity from magnets. So not only would you be able to provide fresh, clean water for a village, but also electricity for a village. Now, how cool is that? Now, a lot of this stuff has been suppressed, but it's starting to come forward. Just think where we could be if those other 6,000 patents were brought forward for all of humanity. And I think one of the things that's going to be seen when ONPASSIVE starts to get into these realms is a lot more of these new technologies coming forward, because I think this is also a way of being able to help humanity and lift humanity as a whole. What are your thoughts, Collins? What else would you like to add?
Yeah, so you know, I'd like to go back to what Mr. Mufara said. He said, you will be glad you stuck with us. You know, you will be very, very happy you stuck with us. And he said, this journey of ONPASSIVE will never happen again. The journey of ONPASSIVE will never, ever happen again. So for those who have followed this journey, they've seen it all. They've seen a lot. They've learned. We don't really, we can't say we know what is happening behind the scene, but the little that the CEO have shared with us, I think it's a big deal. Very, very big deal. And it's a learning curve for me, because what I have learned personally in ONPASSIVE, you know, the different idea. Look at Andy talking about numbers, Red saying about a lot of stuff, Madi, marketing, all of this is money cannot buy it. All this knowledge that we've gathered in ONPASSIVE, money cannot buy it. You know, So, but when you look at it, it is not really easy to put a company like this. Even those giant company that have existed for donkey of years, they still have issues. Look at what happened to Microsoft last time. Shut down 3 hours. The whole world was in chaos. Just imagine Microsoft, almighty Microsoft. 2 years ago, it was Facebook. Shut down. WhatsApp, everything down. Then when we are looking at startup ONPASSIVE coming, we should be even happy that Mr. Ashmofar is taking all this time to make sure things like this doesn't happen again. So there is no way you can escape it, because it is humans that are building this software, and they are all working under pressure. You can easily miss the slightest thing. It causes really big havoc. It is not intentional, but sometimes things can go unseen, which is normal in IT. It is normal. But the only thing we need to exercise is patience. Can we say it will not happen in future? Yes, of course it can happen. Happen to Microsoft, happen to Facebook, IBM also, they have their issue. Go to Oracle, they will tell you their own issue they are facing, day in, day out. So as long as it is technology, you cannot give 100% assurance. You can give 99.9, but you cannot say, you know what, this is this, because it can happen. So let us just be patient. That's the only thing I will share. Be patient, knowing fully well that what they are doing behind the scene is for our own good and for the good of mankind. Like Red said, most companies will throw it out there, make their money. They don't care about humanity. They care about how much they can make. But Ms. Ash is saying, it is not how much we will make, but how much the people can use this software to better their lives. Company can participate in it, better their lives. They can put something out there where it will, it will really help a lot of businesses. And that is where Mr. Ashmofara is going. So it's not only about us, it's about the entire humanity for those who choose to come into ONPASSIVE. So I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Collins. I'm sure Red has another few points that he would love to add.
Yeah, one thing I would like to add, going on the back of what Collins is saying, is the words of our CEO. And this should encourage most of you to know that we actually aren't that far away. He said, we are much closer than we think. Now, I'm of the mind that we are talking weeks here and not months. I'm also extremely happy at the moment that we see our CEO on a weekly basis to update us with what is going on. I think that is important at the moment. I think it is great for our spirits to keep us in as much knowledge as he is allowed to give us. Now, I think and he said this himself, didn't he? He said that he does know that we're not stupid. I know there's plenty of people who think we are, that he did actually say that we're not stupid people, and he wants to try and update us as much as possible where he can. He's obviously got a plan. Now, he's obviously, over the last 3 or 4 months, taken control of certain things, and mainly for, I believe, the reason personally is because I think he felt that ONPASSIVE was maybe going in a direction he wasn't happy with, and he wanted to bring the core elements of ONPASSIVE back on track. So he's obviously got a plan in mind. He's obviously got something up his sleeve. All we're being asked to do is to stay engaged, stay positive, and as Collins has rightly said, we certainly won't regret being part of ONPASSIVE and seeing this through to the end. And I've said the same thing hundreds of times now. We owe it to ourselves to see this one through. We don't want to be the one that quits and regrets it. We don't want to be the one that walks away and misses out. This is our time. This is our opportunity. We'll never get anything like this again in our lives. There's nothing else out there that comes close. So why not stay the course to the end and see how this all pans out? That's it for me, Andy. Back to you.
Thanks, Red. Thanks. Any final points that you would like to add, Levi?
I would like to concur with Red and Brother Collins. I mean, this journey is a journey which all of us, we should just follow the leader, Mr. Ash Mufara. He's not going to leave us anywhere. He's a great leader. Each and every one of us must just be patient, and then the apples will come. That's all for me.
Thank you, Levi. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to add this is really to do with past experience. I've dealt over the years with many CEOs, presidents, vice presidents, managing directors, COOs, etc. In my time as a financial advisor. And the vast majority of those that I have come across are focused purely on their own business, not necessarily the employees that they have or outside of their business remit. They are very good at what they do, but their focus is purely that. It's purely down to where can I take this? What sort of profit can I achieve for the company? And what drew me to this and what keeps me on course is understanding and hearing what our CEO has to say, because I have never in my entire years in my career come across a man who has no interest for the profit side of things, but for what he can do for the others that are part of those companies. And I did like your point earlier on, Collins, about, people, there will be people crying. There'll be an awful lot more people crying that'll go, damn blast, why didn't I stay the course? And that's what I'm going to find amusing, because I know there are going to be thousands of those. I will have no sympathy, I hasten to add, but they will be crying because they've made the wrong decision, unlike the vast majority of us here and those that are very close to us that know exactly what's going on. We're with you all the way, Mr. Mufara. And if you speak Mufara like Red does, follow Red, Marty, Mike, and obviously Captain Chris. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And we shall see you again next Tuesday for OP Digital Blueprint. So see you later, guys.